for it. And the finish was cool. I don't even remember how it happened. I think there was like a quick roll-up spot after a bunch of, like a big clusterfuck where everybody was fighting, and then the smoke clears. Jericho rolls up MVP, I believe. Or no, MVP rolls up Jericho. And really, you thought that the titles were going to switch. I mean, it was like you really bought into it, you know what I mean, the false finish. Even the announcer, Michael Cole, he reacted like they had just won. It wasn't like, oh, it was so close. He was like, oh, and they win, and oh, he only got 2. Like, it was confusing.
Well, I mean, when I was there live, I mean, it looked like a 3 count, and the crowd popped huge for that. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Good.
Big Show interfered, and Chris Jericho hit the code breaker to retain the titles. That's how it ended.
That's what it was. Did you? There was a bot spot on TV where Big Show went right before he hit the code breaker. Big Show went. I believe he hit the code breaker on Mark Henry. Was it?
Or MVP. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Well, the Big Show messed up, didn't hit him, and then they redid it. I mean, it was obvious. I don't know.
No, I got my back turned when I'm doing play-by-play, so I can't. I can only hear it. No, I turn around if something big seems to be happening. So.
Yeah. I don't know. This went for about 20 minutes, I believe, man.
Yeah, it was a long match.
Right. So then we had a backstage segment. It was Reverend Al Sharpton and a bunch of mid-card jobbers, we'll call them, right? Hornswoggle, who else? Chris Master.
Santino, Chavo, Chris Master, yeah.
You're right. We'll call them the crew. What kind of crew? Throw a word in there for me, Boone.
I'm trying to think of a C word, like the
or something, man. I don't know,
like the C+ crew, because they're average. You get it?
The D- crew? I don't know. The F?
It's not average. C is an average grade in school, and there are average mid-card people, so they're the C crew. The C+.
You're calling I don't know if Hornswoggle's average. He's far
He's
from
below average height, you know.
Right. You think?
Yes, quite a bit, actually.
All right, so I didn't get to hear this. Whatever, it was goofy comedy shit, anyways. And then, my man, I've been talking about Rosa Mendez for quite some time on WZR Radio.
Man.
Finally got the opportunity to see her live last night.
Well, because she's always live, baby, live, and you're always telling me this, and I never disagree with you. I can't ever, like I said, I do play-by-play, I can't pay attention. Plus, she's always in like Diva Battle Royals or tag matches, so it's never just her. Last night it was her in one-on-one action, and I remember what you said every week about her, so I actually skipped play-by-play and just wrote from memory after it was over so I could watch it, and man, you were not lying at all. If anything, you underplayed it, because she was god-awful. I mean, it was...
Oh, dude, every week, man. Every week it's like that, too. And Mickie James, man, God bless her, you know. I mean, she tried.
Why in the hell would WWE put Rosa Mendez in a singles match of any kind on TV and not have it be a quick 30-second squash or something? I mean, why would they give them 5 minutes and say, here, you got to try and carry Rosa Mendez for 5 minutes by yourself? It's not going to happen.
Dude, the thing about it is the agents sit right on the, when they come out, all right, when the guys come out and they walk down the ramp.
Gorillas.
The agents are all sitting over on the left-hand side, out of camera view, but they're on the left-hand side, like Arn Anderson and Ricky Steamboat were down there.
Okay, I can picture it.
So it's not like they don't see how bad she is week after week. And last night was just another example of, wow, and you're still out there putting her on television I mean, at least do some house shows and then throw her on Raw when
I'm sure they have, but I mean, either way, this is
but there's agents at house shows, dude, that have to see her work, and I mean, God, what's she doing to Vince? You know what I'm saying?
She got a great ass, so maybe, I don't know.
Maybe some favors or something. She's doing something to somebody to be on TV. I don't want to say that. That's horrible to say, but
it's not even true. But so, you know, but either way, it is what it is, man. They could have picked any other diva because the match didn't mean anything. It was just one little match before the pay-per-view, since Mickie James is defending the title. And I guess because they have Alicia Fox aligned with Rosa a little bit, although they just started that recently, and who knows? It was stupid, and it was terrible.
It was brutal. Probably the highlight of the night was the Legacy DX segment in the arena. DX came out. Legacy cut a promo basically about Hell in a Cell.
An awful promo, by the way. That was Ted DiBiase was awesome. I think he's great, actually. Now that I'm trying to remember it, he was awesome. Cody Rhodes is garbage on the microphone. I mean, it was, and it wasn't just because he had a lisp, but that was part of it, if I'm being honest. the fact that he looked like a little 12-year-old boy, that's another part of it. But
we had a.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to cut. No, go ahead, man.
Well, he cut. Speaking of cutting off, he cut off Triple H in the middle of his analogy. He had this long-ass analogy about the Incredible Hulk and the Monster and DX and Green and all this and that, and it was like a setup for like 2 minutes to get to the punchline at the end. He gets through the 2-minute setup, and right when he's getting ready to do the end part, Cody Rhodes says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, you're over there having a good time, blah, blah, blah," and Shawn Michaels is like, "Oh, let him finish." It was almost like he was being real. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Are you not listening to what he's saying? He's doing a long setup here. This is the fucking thing we've been waiting to get to, the whole point of the story, and now you're going to cut him off right when he gets to it, like an idiot.
I mean, that was cool to do with where DX came out and was like, boring. But, dude, we've seen that before. Remember Lance Storm was in the ring and Chris Jericho came out and you could or was it Austin? Was it Austin or Jericho?
I think it was Austin. It was definitely Lance Storm, and it was like a continuous thing after the first time it was done. I think it was Austin.
Boring.
Yeah, because Austin did it, and then every match Lance Storm had after that, the whole crowd would chant boring no matter what was happening. And he was like the best wrestler in the company too. So
yeah, I know. It was all right. Well, I mean, DX's comedy, I know you don't like a lot of their comedy, but it wasn't that bad last night, was it? I don't know.
The DX half of that, actually, Shawn Michaels was awesome because he wasn't in goofy mode. He was like, I don't know, it seemed like he was almost like annoyed or just not in the mood to be there, but in a way where it was like he was the serious one of the two. Like he would, because they get down to the ring after they finally come down to chase Legacy. They say, all right, we think we're just joking, we'll come fuck you up. And then they come down to the ring. They get in the ring, and Shawn Michaels gets on the mic. He's like, after all that talking, here you guys go running. Like, he was cool, calm the whole time, but it was effective. I thought it was awesome.
We had Jack Swagger defeated Evan Bourne. This is basically a squash, man. Poor Evan Bourne. You know what I'm saying, man? They
put him over so huge on commentary, too, and then they do nothing with him. It's like Michael Cole every week, you're going for a treat now. Evan Bourne's very fun to watch. And then they just beat the shit out of him. He doesn't do anything.
Kofi came out and took the title back after this one was over. And then we had Chris Masters and Chavo Guerrero teamed up against Santino and Little Horny. And this was where we saw...
this is where you were there in the building to witness history being made.
Right. So what? Now we've got a tag team of Chavo Guerrero and Hornswoggle. For those of you guys that didn't see it after it was over, Chavo Guerrero, I believe Chris Masters had Horny in the Master Lock.
Yeah.
And Chavo came up and blasted Masters. So apparently...
Yeah, and then he looked at his hands confused as he was walking away. So next week, maybe they won't have him buddy yet. Maybe it'll be a couple weeks of him like seeing Hornswoggle get beat too bad and him having compassion for him or something. But it's that I've seen a couple reports where people are saying, "Oh, it's finally over, Chavo Hornswoggle," and I don't even know how you could get that out of that, because if anything, obviously now it's taking a turn and definitely continuing, because now they have a new angle to play with, which is Chavo doesn't like seeing Hornswoggle get beat up, or only kind of like a family thing where you can't call my sister a slut, only I can. You know what I mean? Like, only he's allowed to beat up Hornswoggle, nobody else is. Something like that.
Right. And then we had our final, or it was announced Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers offensive line are going to be hosting Raw next week, which is interesting because we've got, they're obviously trying to take football viewers. It's a huge game, man. It's Green Bay versus the Minnesota Vikings. We've got Brett Favre on the Vikings coming back to play Green Bay, his former home. So it's a huge game next Monday. And I believe Pittsburgh has a bye week next week, which is why they're able to do this. I'm guessing Raw is in Pittsburgh next Monday night. Haven't checked, but, I mean, it would make sense, obviously, with Roethlisberger there. So they announced that. See what happens next week. Whatever, I'm not interested.
I don't know anything about Roethlisberger other than his name.
I'm sure we'll get some jokes next week, something along the lines of...
Well, you get a lot of football segments. That's guaranteed, which who knows how that'll happen.
He's got that thing in real life going on where the girl accused him of rape. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
But Mayweather had the real thing going on, too, and it broke the day of the show all over the media, and they didn't even mention it, so I would doubt they would go there with Roethlisberger. But, I mean, definitely a lot of football stuff, making fun of Monday Night Football or making fun of football, or who knows? Who the hell knows? Like, if you can catch a pass, you get a title match tonight, and then Jericho says, trash is football, and, something. Who knows?
Right. We had Reverend Al Sharpton, final segment with him for the night. Three segments overall, the opener, and then we had the backstage segment.
Comedy one, yeah.
The comedy ones, and then this one with Jillian Hall came up and sang blah, 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 who cares, blah, 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 blah.
Damn.
And then we had our main event gauntlet match. Started it off with John Cena versus Chris Jericho. And
well,
then,
you forgot, I mean, it's not a big deal, but Reverend Al showed a little personality and played along and had some fun. Right. Yeah, he did sang James Brown and danced around or whatever, so whatever.
Hey, fun. I'll tell you what. We've only got the main event of Monday Night Raw, so we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk the main event of Monday Night Raw. Then we'll talk about Kimbo tomorrow night on The Ultimate Fighter, and then we'll talk about Bret Hart to WWE and a couple of other rumors, news and notes. And then as soon as I've got somebody on the way over right now, hopefully to get this situation resolved. So as soon as they get here, we're going to have to wrap this thing up, and we'll get out of here after that. So let's take a commercial break real quick. We'll be back on the flip side, David Allen, with news, rumors, chat, shout-outs, take your live phone calls as well. That's what we'll do. When we come back from the break, we'll get some of these live phone calls out of the way, and we'll go from there. WZROnline.com /chat, 724-444-7444. Call ID number 30273, followed by the pound key. You're listening to WZR Radio with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this.